listening. Welcome in. Welcome in. Looking forward to this topic this evening, talking about functional nutrition, a key to your health and well being. So, come on in as I get started on this presentation with you guys. I do hope you were able to check the video on mindset, mindful mindset. And last week we talked about physical activity and mental health and how physical activity can have a positive influence on our mental health. And we know that when we talk about mental health, one of the things that affects us a lot in this day and age is our levels of stress. So, this evening, we are going to talk a little bit about that stress and functional nutrition and try to help ourselves learn a little bit more on how we can use nutrition, make it functional for us to help us stay healthy, live better, and live a longer life by God's grace. So come on in and listen up to this evening's presentation. I look forward to sharing with each and every one of you this evening. And hopefully, we can have some questions. If you have any questions, shoot it on by. We can talk about it and try to understand what's going on in there and how we can use nutrition to help us with our well being. I am Michelle Bailey, and if you haven't seen me on Facebook or Instagram, this is me, Michelle Bailey of Functional Wellbeing. And here at Functional Wellbeing, we are all about enhancing our well being through health and through many other facets of well being. We have various areas, six in particular. The first one, of course, is health, which I talk a lot about, and we'll talk some more about this evening. We also look at cultivating our purpose, finding out, cultivating our purpose in terms of what should I be doing? What is my purpose? Yes. We also look at your environment, understanding our environment. Other facets we consider relationships, relationship with family, friends, with God, your work partners. We look at community building. So community building, we all belong to a community, and we'll talk a little bit more about that next week. But think about it, next week, Thanksgiving, we all coming together as a family unit, families coming together, friends coming together. That's a community. So community building is another facet. Okay. We want to understand that also security plays a huge role in our well-being, and security can be in your makeup, thinking about also your finances. So, this is the different areas of well being that I consider when I'm talking about well being. But when I'm also talking about functional well being, we want this to be able to be workable. It can be applied so that whatever we apply, it is in a positive light for us so that we can enhance our well being and enhance others' well being as well. Right? So, thank you so much for tuning in, listening to the replays, and and enjoying the information shared. I am glad to share this information with you because that's what it's all about, for us to grow and learn from each other as we try to live better. Let us dive in. Functional nutrition. Last week we talked about physical activity and well being. And there was a chart diagram that I shared, a set diagram that I shared, which when I say diagram, it there are three circles that correlated to each other. That is, we looked at physical well being connected to mental well being and your social well being. If we look at those three areas, we can understand there that if these three are connected and connected in a way that they are balanced, we can enhance our well being. So, we first talked about mindset at the beginning of the month, understanding our mindset, being able to be mindful of the things that we do and say, look at tips to help us externally versus internally to help with our mindset to make it one of a positive mindset and being mindful of your surroundings. When we look at physical activity, physical well being in particular, we're looking at activity, relationships, how we can use ourselves to be able to enhance our well being by performing activity. In particular, last week I spoke about functional movement. That is what I equate activity to be, because I want to make sure that if as a middle-aged lady I'm doing physical activity, it's working for me. It's things that I need to do to help me stay healthy, stay strong, and be able to perform the activities that I want to do. Social well being, look at relationships, belonging to a community, being able to relate to others and relate to others in a positive light, learning from others. That is kind of summing up community and that welfare of being able to be in a positive, like minded atmosphere. When we put all three of them together, we have that symbiosis of enhanced well being, where we are contented, we feel balanced, and we can do things and feel good in what we are doing. Today, if you remember our first live, I talked about the four keys to well being shift, to health and well being shift. We talked about mindful mindset. We went through physical activity, more so functional movement. Today, we are going to talk about the third key, that is functional nutrition. When we're talking about functional nutrition, I want us to think of this. There are hidden powers in what we eat or what we put into our bodies, whether good or bad. Yes, there are hidden powers of nutrition. It can affect our health. It could also affect the medicines that we might be taking or the supplements that we might have to take. Foods we eat can affect us. It does affect us. But we have to learn what is the framework and systematic approach to what we do or what we consume and how it can help us feel better. For example, Thanksgiving coming up. That's next week, Thursday. In the US, that's a big deal. I think Canada had theirs already. So Thanksgiving is on its way. And most of the times, when there is Thanksgiving, there is food involved. Yes or no? Am I telling the truth? Yes. Thanksgiving, we are so blessed that when we have Thanksgiving, what we have gatherings, and most of the times these gatherings we have food involved. So some people they get really happy about it and they decide, well, okay, it's Thanksgiving. We are going to make sure and prepare all the goodies, have good food, enjoy the food that we eating. And then they decide, okay, I'm not eating anything this today. I'm just waiting for that big dinner, that nice, lovely dinner where I can get all the food that I love and I can eat. Okay, great. No problem, right? Wrong. So I like Thanksgiving too. I came to the US and I've been celebrating Thanksgiving for 10 years. This is going to be the 10th year celebrating Thanksgiving. And I like it. But you know what? I've always been prepping for competition the start of November for the following year. So if you don't know, I am into bodybuilding and I love to start prep November 1 for the following year, whether I was doing a competition in March, anytime. That the following year, my prep always started November 1. People thought I was crazy. I was Most of my clients was like, Michelle, you sure about that? Christmas, Thanksgiving, all the goodies are on that time of the year. Why on earth would you be dieting or trying to prep for a competition now? Believe it or not, this is the best time to start a prep or create new habits. I am not crazy, people. I'm just saying this is the best time to start new habits to help you transform your mind, your physical activity that you do, and the food you put in your mouth so that it can work for you and not against you. So I always start prep this time of the year. And it has been something that helped me to deal with stress. And we've been talking about stress. We've been talking about stress all month long and relating it to mindful mindset, how we can change, use, like, for example, deep breathing techniques to change how we react to stress. We can also use physical activity, as we learned last week. There is great evidence showing that when we use physical activity, we can reduce the effects of stress and mental health. And we know that stress can affect a lot of different parts of our bodies, from our head to our toe, physically as well as psychologically. We can be affected or affected by stress. Today I learned from someone, they said they have medically induced or exercise induced migraines. And and she asked, what should I do when it comes to having these migraines? Because I want to work out, but I have migraines just come upon me when I start working out. So I asked her a couple questions, some of which I ask, okay, how much water are you drinking? I also ask, what's the foods you eat during the course of the day? How much times do you eat for the day? And of course, I got really wavering answers. So for me, those were some key questions for me to find out a little bit more why she may be getting these migraines. And one of the things I told her is, okay, if it is you're putting into your body this minimum amount of food, which is your source of energy, your source of increasing your metabolism, your source of repairing muscle, and you start exercising where your body is demanding more. So obviously, it's demanding more energy and it doesn't have fuel in the tank. You're not going to be able to do or perform the physical activity that you want to engage in. Instead, your body is going to tell you, hold up, wait a minute now, we don't have that to give you. So it's going to fight or flight. It's going to use whatever energies it has to work on the most important organs of the body and what it thinks is the most important thing to do, like breathe and live. It's not going to give you any energy to work out. So, hence the reason you might be getting migraines when you work out. So, if we look at what we putting in our bodies, then we might be able to understand why certain things are happening to us. More so, the lack of things that we're putting in our bodies can be affected in different ways. So, when we look at what's going on in there, we may be able to find out why we are having various symptoms. Now, that's just one example, but there are many other things. Right? For instance, indigestion. Stress can create indigestion. And if your body thinks it's under stress, it's going to send out signals. That is what your body does. When it cannot do anymore, when it cannot cope anymore, it starts to send out signals to you like, stop, wait a minute, alert, alert, I can't do this. You need to stop what you're doing. Please and thank you. So that I can perform the bare minimum right now. That is what your body is going to do. Our bodies are very great at compromising. But after a while, it will tell you, no, thank you. I'm done for the day. If you don't feed me, I'm not doing anymore. I'm sorry. You figure it out. But right now, I'm going to be shutting down so that I could make sure that your organs stay, the important organs stay alive and working. So if we are stressing and we have stressors, it can affect us physically as well as psychologically. So if this person, for instance, start exercising, they start to get anxious because they know that a headache is going to come on, a migraine is going to come on. But if we figure out what's going on in there and deal with the root cause of the problem, then once we can create a environment for our bodies to work properly, then we would be able to change the situation, the symptoms that may be appearing or occurring at that time. They might disappear miraculously. It might disappear. Not really miraculously, but because we have changed something. M- Most of the times, we need to change our nutrition. And changing our nutrition is not the easiest thing to do. I know. You might say, no, you don't, Michelle. You're an athlete. No, I know. Because you have to have a different mindset to be able to change. Needing to change a habit, it takes time. I had to tell somebody that just today again. We want to change something. It first begins with us mindfully thinking about it, and it once it becomes a thought, we need to try now to make it an action, doing something to change the former habit into a new habit, which is more profitable for our bodies, literally profitable for our bodies. I am suggesting functional nutrition. Remember our definition of functional? It has to be something that is a specific activity, that has a specific purpose. So, this food, what we eat, what I eat to keep me healthy would be different than what you eat to keep you healthy because we are individuals. Just as we are individuals, our body is able to use food in different ways. But if something is going on in there that our bodies can't use the food to get the nutrition from it, then you could eat all the healthy food you want. It's not working because something might be up. Something might be going on in there which needs to be addressed. I always say not all healthy foods are healthy foods for everyone. But you can find out what is healthy food for you by going through a process. And that process, for instance, for me, learning about what's going on in the body so that I can make sure I can do physical activity that I need, be mindful of what's going on with my body, and use the foods that I need to help me stay healthy and be able to perform. It's always good to find out or figure that out. And that's what a functional nutritionist or functional nutrition coach can do. I've I've been allowed the opportunity to do a functional nutrition program which was run by Andrea Nakayama, who is a functional medicine doctor. She has a lot of different accolades. But one of the things that I could always remember from her is this quote I got from her. Everything is connected. We are all unique. All things matter. Everything is connected, but we are all unique. But everything or all things matter. So if you have something going on with you and you're not too sure why or what's going on with you in terms of symptoms of things happening, one has to take a deep dive in understanding that you are unique, but you may have a symptom. You are stressed. I might be stressed by something totally different than what you might be stressed by. And my way or my symptom that might show up might be different than yours. So, for instance, I may be stressed and I get angry, versus somebody else might be stressed and they get sad or quiet. And believe it or not, those signs shows that there are certain organs, for instance, that are being affected. Yes, certain organs in your body, based on symptoms of what you are showing, can be the root cause or being affected by what's going on with you on the outside. Yes. When you figure out what's going on in there, you can then change what's going on in there with the same nutrition factor so that you can be able to live better by doing the physical activity that you need, which helps reduce stress, for instance, being mindful and doing mindful techniques and activities that can help you. Yes, like journaling. Remember, we talk about that. So it's a connection. These things are all connected, just like everything is connected, but we are still unique. So what affects me when I'm angry with stress versus what affects you when you are stressed and you become sad, something is being challenged inside of us. We need to find out what that is. So you might say, I'm not a doctor, Michelle. You don't know what you're talking about. But I have studied information on functional nutrition and how we can use nutrition to help us feel better and be able to look better, especially us ladies in our middle age right now, to be able to see the difference in our bodies and understand that we can definitely change things around when we change or look at our nutrition. So let's see. Remember, we were talking about stress? I'd like to talk about a particular um, factor or cause or symptom to see how we could relate these four keys of well-being shift. So functional nutrition, as I said before, it's more of, it has to be something that can be used specifically for you. So it's nutrition that is specifically to help you. It and functional nutrition programming or system approach is where it's a modality that allows for you to support the individual, educate you, to show you, the patient or the client, that some things may or may not be for you, and we could research it together to help you and help your body heal and be better. All right. And it's targeted specifically for you. So it's an individual, it's individualistic. It's for you. It does not mean that, okay, you start a program and there's a meal plan on there and you say, well, this is not for me. The person just give me a meal plan that everybody else do it. The difference is this meal plan that is created for you, the individual, based on the information you shared. So the onus is on you to share information with the individual, your trainer, your nutritionist, your doctors, to find out what's going on with you and for you to be able to get an action plan that can help you. So just like last week, I talked about there are different um, models of physical activity for different people, whether you have fatty liver syndrome or whether you're diabetic versus stress levels, to reduce stress levels and help with mental health. There are different combinations of workouts for in terms of aerobic, anaerobic, as well as flexibility. The same goes for someone with medical issues. The same thing. Diabetes. If you're diabetic, there's a protocol for you, but but your diabetic symptoms may be because of something else. If you have high blood pressure, it could be because of something else. Needing to know what's going on in there upstream helps an individual like me to help you, and try not to cookie cutter anything, but really figure out what's going on with you so that you could get help. So, 6 weeks challenge. I'm signing up people for that. It starts on the 27th. I would love for you to join. There are meal plans on there, but I need to know information from you. once you share that information, it helps me to know what I should be sharing as your nutrition for this 6 weeks challenge. Yes? So the information you share helps me to be able to help you. So as I say, let me help you by you helping me know more about you. All right. So it's understanding the whole person. So when I do a 6 weeks challenge, it's not just about, okay, you have a meal plan, you have workouts, go do it. No, I want to talk about your mindset. And this is all in my 6 weeks program. If you don't know, I'm telling you, mindset building is in there. Workouts are, of course, in there because you need to move, but nutrition is important. And that's another factor that I always have in there to be able to understand the whole you to provide what is necessary for you. So, yes, November 27th, it's coming up. I want to see you guys on there. All right. What I want to really hone in on is that when we look at functional nutrition, as I said, it's not just about giving you a meal plan, it's understanding and addressing any terrain issues. And when I say terrain, inside, what's going on in your gut. So, I'm always talking about a healthy digestive system and healthy gut issues, and being able to understand that if you have a healthy digestive system, this then speaks to everything else going on in your body from your head to your toe. So if you are having a lot of stress factors coming into your life, many times, if your mental health is damaged, your gut health is damaged as well. And they work hand in hand. So if you can be able, think about it. If you're stressing, you don't want to eat. Some people stress eat, and some people don't eat when they're under stress, right? So sometimes we're not too sure what's going on, why we eating so much, but it's because we're stressed out. And if you're stressed, then of course it's going to be a problem for you. Okay? And it's affecting internal organs as well as your mental framework. And we want to change that. So, understanding what's going on in there is a component that is necessary to understand when dealing with functional nutrition. Okay. Functional nutrition is it as a functional nutrition counselor or coach as I am, what my duty is to help you fill in the gap from what a functional nutritionist or what your doctor has said you need to do to the point of what exactly you the patient need to do. I fill in that gap. I will help you educate you as to what is necessary for you to do and help you with the plan of action that was issued to you from your nutritionist or from your doctor, and being able to understand, okay, what the doctor wants from you versus what you understand what the doctor wants from you. All right. So that is what functional nutrition is about. And being able to understand the whole you is a main factor for me. So I like to know information. You tell me, let me know what's your cultural background. What do you normally do? What is your normal family life like? Um, how emotionally are you? What are the things that might make you feel down? What might make you feel depressed? What are some things that make you feel happy? All this information is necessary when using functional nutrition. So even if you think of your own self, think of the things that you will eat when you are anxious. Think of the things that you would eat when you're depressed. Oh boy. One of my clients told me this evening that they were all over the place and they end up eating ice cream. I'm like, okay. And I was like, okay, so let's talk about it. Let me understand what's going on. And it's not me to judge anybody, however, but to listen so that in relation to what's going on, how can we help each other? How can I help you? Help me help you. Because I want to be able to help you, but I have to listen. Because if I don't listen, I wouldn't know what to do, right? I might just create a protocol and say, hey, go do this. Versus if I listen, now I can understand this has happened because of an emotional effect. Something's happening, and I need to be able to help in a empathetic way with this individual in terms of driving them in a different direction. So it's a lot, but it's good to know that when you think of nutrition, again, I said it's functional nutrition. And I could go on and talk a lot more about it, but my job really is to be able to teach you where or guide you into what you should be eating to help you stay healthy. And the only way I could do that is when you share information with me. And that is how the cycle goes when it comes to training, when it comes to mindset building. For nutrition, the same thing is applied. I need you to help me help you. The more I know about you, the more I can help you achieve your goal of living better or feeling better in your skin, or when you see yourself in the mirror, you like what you see now. You're satisfied that I can see a shift. I can see that change coming because I'm transforming. I could make better decisions when I'm depressed or when I'm anxious. I could make better decisions on what to eat, how to eat. Going back to the young lady with the um, exercise induced migraine, one of the things I suggested to her is drink more water because we did an in body test and I saw her numbers and her levels of water in her body was way down. And I told her body is just going in fight or flight. It doesn't know what to do. So, hence the reason why you're going to get this headache because it's trying to survive. And if you're not drinking water, which was one of the issues, then you're going to have that migraine. Okay? So, you really want to think about ways to help yourself. Yes? If you're not eating a balanced meal, for instance, if you're not eating balanced meals and you're on a keto diet or the other diet, all these different diets, I always say diet is not the bad word, and it's the word you put in front of it is what's the bad word. Because if you're not eating balanced meals, you are robbing yourself of nutrients that you need. Vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, polyphenols. You're missing out on a lot when you're not eating enough fruits and vegetables and only sticking to proteins. You need protein. Protein help us repair muscles that we when we work out we need to repair, but our body also need the vitamins, the minerals, all these nutrients. The body needed too. I always like to say the smaller things are really important. The micronutrients are really important, just as so the macronutrients of protein, carbs, and fats. I know it's a lot, and I could keep talking on about this, but I just wanted to share that functional nutrition is the way to go so that you can help yourself live better. My job as a functional nutrition coach is to discover what's going on in there and remember that everything is connected. We are all unique. All things matter. Do you think so? I hope you do. Oh, I hope I was able to shed some light to ensure you that that's what's needed. Because with stress, we know, like, for example, there environmental stress. For me, for instance, um, with the corn being harvested and the soybean being harvested, these things affect me with allergy. allergy issues. But now I have to learn to figure out what are some things that I can help myself feel better when I am in this environment. So, what do? I try to eat more fruits and vegetables. I'm trying to build up my immune system. And God's smart because He would have the kiwis and the pineapple and the watermelon, all these things that have high vitamin C, calcium, and antioxidants, the things that could help keep and boost our immune system. Those foods are available right now. Guess what? You need to eat it. I eat lots of it. You see how much smoothies I'm doing every week or every day. It's helping build my immune system. So even if I still have that nasal mucus buildup, it doesn't bother me as much as I haven't been sneezing or coughing or anything like that. And we know what happens this time of year. We have the flus going around. Some people getting COVID still. There's so many different things going on. We have to build our immune system. So we're trying to reduce the stress factors. But if we can't come out the environment, we have to learn how to create a better environment internally by eating the right things to help us stay healthy and weather the storm. So that is it for this evening's functional nutrition and well being. We can eat foods that can help us live better. Ready to live better? I hope you are, because I would love to help you live better. I would love all my middle aged ladies to come join me on June 27th as we start off the Well Being 5 Blueprint Challenge. 6 weeks of fun. Might be challenging, but still fun. It's all about allowing you to live better, reclaim your fountain of youth, and enjoy being the best you at this age with mindful mindset, workouts, as well as nutrition meal plans. With like minded women all coming together, let's do this. Let us do the Well 5 Blueprint Challenge. Come together, figure out what are the things that we need to be doing at this age to help us feel better and look better. Join me? I think you should. I look forward to talking to you some more about this. If you are interested, do comment below. Live better. I will share more information about this, and I look forward to helping each and every one of you. Have a blessed evening, everyone. I do hope you enjoyed this information, and I do hope it's something that you can gain from. Have a pleasant night, and next week we are going to talk about the fourth key, that of community and social well-being. So I'll see you then. Have a pleasant night. Bye for now.